You are welcome back to Fashion with Sort Out YouTube channel. So this is the material we are using for the shirt gown. Okay, so let's proceed. Now I have my pattern paper drawn here with the basic pattern marked out. So what I'm going to do first is label all the lines that I have here. So the first line is the chest line, the next one is the bust point, the other one is the under bust length, then we have our waist, then our upper hip, okay, then the lower hip, then the knee length, then the remaining will serve as the gown length, although the length of the pattern paper is not enough for the gown. But so then I'm going to be adding the remaining parts on the dress. I hope you understand. So let's proceed. Now we'll be cutting the front and the back pattern together, and so that is why we have this pattern paper as wide as this. So the first thing I'm going to do now is work on the front where the buttons will be. So now for the buttonhole area, right, I'm marking out 2 inches on the pattern paper, and of course, as you know that a shirt front opening will be opened now, the front of a shirt is always opened, and then for the opening we are using button on it. And so for this button, I'm marking out 2 inches all the way down from the neck right to the hem of the dress, and so I'm going to join the points together right away, and we have the button area settled, right? So the next thing we are going to proceed to is the neck. Okay, let me just label it. Okay, the button area. Okay, so the next thing we are going to work on now is the neck. So the neck we are making use of, okay, I first make the shoulder slant, right? So the shoulders, I'll mark the basic 3 inches width on the neck and then ½ inch on the shoulder line, so as to make the shoulder slant. Okay, I hope you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so what I did, was to mark 3 inches on the neck and then ½ inch on the shoulder, and then I make a connect of the shoulder slant. The next I'm going to do is take my cuff ruler, of course find the midpoint of the shoulder line, and then take my cuff ruler and make a cuff connect. Okay, so because we are cutting the front and the back together, I'm going to connect it, right, and then at the midpoint of the shoulder line, I'm going to just come out by ½ inch. Okay, so and then form a new arm cuff, and then in forming this, I'm going to connect it to the half extension. Okay, so I'm just going to connect it to the neck area also, and then we have our armhole set. The next thing I'm going to do now is impute the body circumference. Of course, the bust we are working with is 37 inches. I divided it by 4, and then afterwards I added 2½ inches to it for as my ease allowance. Okay, so all I'm going to be doing is imputing the body circumference and then adding 2.5 inches to it. So mind you, the 2.5, like I said, is for the ease allowance and the sewing allowance. Okay, so the same thing we have on the chest line is what we are going to have on the bust point. Okay, then the next thing is the under bust length. For the under bust circumference, the circumference is 32 inches. Okay, so I'm just going to be dividing 32 by 4, which is 8, and then I'm going to be adding 2.5 to it like I did to the bust area. And then the same thing I have on the under bust circumference, what I have on at the waist, 32 inches also. So I'm just going to mark it. So for our hip, the hip we are working with is 45 inches divided by 4, that is 11.25. Okay, I'll mark it and then add the ease and sewing allowance of 2.5 to it. Okay, so the same thing we have on the hip is what we will have on the knee length. So I'm just going to take my ruler and connect all the points. Okay, so I'll connect all the points, and then like I said, because it's a free dress, it's not going to be steep at the knee length. So the same thing we'll have on the hip is what we'll have at the hem length. So I'm just going to draw the line straight down to the hem of our dress. Okay guys, after this has been done, we'll proceed to our neck area. Okay, so like the width of the neck is 3 inches. We are retaining the 3 inches as the width of our dress. So for the back, I'm going to be marking 3 inches width and 1 inch depth. The dress is going to have a collar. Okay, so that's why we're making use of 3 inches width and 1 inch depth for the back. Okay, and for our front, we'll be making use of 3 inches by 3 inches. I mean 3 inches width by 3 inches depth. So I've marked out the 3 inches. I'll just use my cuff ruler and then connect it also. I'm also going to extend the line to the buttonhole area like we have it, but this time around I'm using my ruler to connect it to the button area, as you can see, right? So the next thing I'm going to do now is start to cut all that we have marked out. The bodice has been cut. We'll proceed to the neckline. Okay, so I'm just going to cut the back first. Remember, we are cutting the front and the back together, so you must be careful and not get confused. So we'll mark the back first and then fold in the buttonhole area so that we can have our front cut out. So, but in cutting it, you must first fold the buttonhole area inside. This is just to be on the safe side and not confuse yourself. We are not going to cut the neck yet, so I'll proceed to use the pattern paper to cut the fabric. Why are we not cutting the neck? Don't get confused. We are not cutting it so that we will not cut it and then have the same thing for the back. So it's after we've cut the back, if we've cut the back material, then we'll cut out the neck and then use it to cut the front. So guys, this is our material. I'm going to fold it and then use the pattern paper to cut the back, and afterwards I will open the button area, cut our neck, the front neck, and then use it to cut the front also. I'm sorry guys, my camera didn't cover the whole process of cutting, but this is what we have as this is what we have cut out. This is the back. I'm trying to spread it so that I'll place it the way it will be sewn. So the down one is the back, right? And then we have the two fronts. I'm going to place it on it, and the way it's placed is the way I'm going to sew it. So afterwards, now I'm just going to go to the sewing machine, join all the bodies. I'll join the neck, I'll join I'll join the shoulders, and then join the side and come back to show you how it came out. So guys, I've gone ahead to join it, and this is how it came out, as you can see. All right, so I've also gone ahead to cut the plankets that will be placed on the front buttonhole area. Okay, so I've gone ahead to cut it. I'm showing you how it is fixed, right? I've done the two sides, and this is how it is. So I've gone ahead to cut the strap or plankets that will be used for the front buttonhole side. In doing this, you must always put stay, so that you must always add stay to it so that it will be easy to make a buttonhole on it. Without the stay, the buttonhole might not be too neat on it. So I've gone ahead to fix the planket to the dress, and this is how it came out. And as you can see guys, the whole thing is coming out very neat and fine. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is fix the button and make the buttonhole. But before I do that, we are going to cut our neck collar. Okay, but to cut that, we must know what we have on the neck. So I'm just going to take my tape rule and measure around what I have. The whole thing is 18 inches. So here is my pattern paper. I've cut it out. As you can see, I have 18 inches there as the length, And on fold, I cut it on fold. On fold, I have I'm just going to measure it out. I have 5.5 inches on fold because I'm cutting both the lining and the main thing together. That's why I had it that way. Okay, so I folded it into two, and as you can see the line at the center. So what I'm going to do is at the center line, I'm going to come in by 1.2. okay, so I'm just going to mark the 1.2, and below the fold, I'm going to mark ½ inch. As you can see, I hope I've not confused you. So on the line, on the mid line, I came in by 1.2, and at the edge below the line, I came in by half. So I'm just going to connect that 1.2 line up to the edge of the collar. As you can see, the edge of the fold, let me use that word, and then from there I'm going to connect it to the ½ inch at the edge of the fold below the line. Okay, so this is how we are going to cut our collar. I'm just going to take my scissors and then cut it out for you to see the way it came out. And guys, this is how it came out afterwards. So I'm just going to fold it for you to see the way it will be. Do you see it? Can you picture how color is already? Okay, so I've gone ahead to fold the material. Okay, and in folding it, you can see the allowance I added to it because it's the 18 inches I cut out straight on the pattern paper. So for the joining purpose, I added the ½ inch on it, or on the fold, as you can see. So I'm just going to cut it out, and then I've also gone ahead to cut a paper stain and ironed it to it. I did that so that it will give it a standing effect, you know. So I've also gone ahead to sew it, and this is how it came out. All I'm going to do is notch it and then turn it to the front, and afterwards, this is the way the whole collar came out. Okay, so I'm just going to fold it and then let you see it. You see the stand, okay, and the way it is. So all I'm going to do now is fold it in. Like, I'm going to fold it in like this and press iron it, so that we'll do a top stitch sewing on the dress. So I've gone ahead to iron it, and this is where it came out. So all I'm going to do now is pin it to insert the neck, insert the dress into it. I'm going to insert it into the fold of the collar and then pin it down. Okay, so in pinning it down, everything will rest into the collar, and then you'll be able to know how to have your way around it while sewing, right? So I'll just go to my sewing machine and top stitch it. I've gone ahead to do that, and this is how the whole thing came out after sewing. I'll remove my pin now and show you how it is. So I've removed the pin, and then you see the effect. It's standing, and then the collar also fell well. Guys, I want to believe that staying through to this time watching this video, you got value. If you do not hesitate to give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, make comments, and if you're here to subscribe to this channel, do well to subscribe now. So the next thing I'm going to do now is make a buttonhole, fix the button, and also fix my sleeve. After doing everything, this is the way our dress came out. Very beautiful and neat. You see the standing effect of the collar. I really love the dress, and I'm sure you do too. Thank you for staying through to the end of this tutorial. I appreciate you as always. See you in my next tutorial, guys. Feel free to practice this. You can as well share your practice with me on this channel. So guys, see you in my next tutorial. Bye.